one. So our vision is that we start with a summer school, which will offer provocatively the forbidden courses. We want, I think, to begin by giving a platform to the professors who've been most subject to cancel culture, and also to give an opportunity to students who want to hear them to come. So we'll start with a summer school that will be somewhat in the tradition of those institutions in the interwar period that were havens for refugees. So we are dealing here with the internal refugees of the woke era. We'll start there. It'll be an opportunity to test out some content, see what students will come and spend time in Austin to hear. So that's part A. That's the sort of, if you like, the launch product. And then we go straight to a master's program. I don't think you can go to undergraduate education right away, because the established brands in undergraduate education are offering something it's impossible to compete with initially, because they have the brand Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and they offer also this peer network, which is part of the reason people want so badly to go to those places. It's not really the professors, it's the classmates. So we don't want to compete there initially. Where there is, I think, room for new entrants is in a master's program. And the first one will be in entrepreneurship and leadership, because I think there's a huge hunger amongst people who want to get into particularly the technology world to learn about those things. And they know they're not really going to learn about them at business schools. The people who are not going to teach them leadership and entrepreneurship are professors. Mm-hmm. So we want to create something that will be a little like the very successful Schwartzman program in China, which was come and spend a year in China and find out about China. We'll be doing the same, essentially saying, come and spend a year and find out about technology. And there'll be a mix of academic content. We want people to understand some of the first principles of what they're studying. There are first principles of entrepreneurship and leadership, but we also want them to spend time with people like one of our co-founders, Joe Lonsdale, who's been a hugely successful venture capitalist, and learn directly from people like him. So that's the kind of initial offering. I think there are other master's programs that we will look to roll out quite quickly. I have a particular passion for a master's in applied history or politics and applied history. I'm a historian driven crazy by the tendency of academic historians to drift away from what seem to me the important questions, and certainly to drift away from addressing policy relevant questions. So I would love to be involved in a master's in applied history. And we'll build some programs like that before we get to the full liberal arts experience that we envisage for an undergraduate program. And that undergraduate program is an exciting one, because I think we can be innovative there too. I would say 2 years would be spent doing some very classical and difficult classical things, bridging those old divides between arts and sciences. But then there would also be in the second half, in the junior and senior years, something somewhat more of an apprenticeship, where we'll have centers, including a center for technology, engineering, and mathematics, that will be designed to help people make that transition from the theoretical to the practical. So that's the vision. And I think like any early stage idea, we'll doubtless tweak it as we go along. We'll find things that work and things that don't work. But I have a very clear sense in my own mind of how this should look 5 years from now. And I don't know about you. I mean, I'm unusual as an academic because I quite like starting new institutions, and I've done a bit of it in my career. You got to kind of know what it should look like after the first 4 or 5 years to get out of bed in the morning and put up with all the kind of hassles of doing it, not least the inevitable flack that we're bound